I spent all day cleaning, cooking, caring. And then my husband, Tom, came home, tossed his briefcase on the counter, kissed me quickly on the cheek, and asked, with a tone that wasn't malicious, just oblivious, "Hey, honey, what did you do today?" The question hung in the air of our freshly vacuumed living room like a rogue dust bunny I had somehow missed. My eyes scanned the space. The cushions plumped, the toys neatly, for now, in their bins, the faint scent of lemon polish still lingering. I looked towards the kitchen, where the remnants of a home-cooked meal sat waiting to be put away, the counters wiped clean of the afternoon's spilled juice. And inside, a weariness settled deep in my bones, a familiar ache that no amount of physical rest seemed to touch. What did I do today? Where do I even begin to answer that seemingly simple question? Do I start with the moment my eyes snapped open before the alarm, a silent internal clock ticking with the endless to-do list that awaited? Do I recount the negotiation tactics required to coax a reluctant 3-year-old, Leo, into his clothes? A battle fought before 7 a.m. even graced the clock. Maybe I should detail the intricate dance of breakfast, the slicing of fruit into bite-sized pieces, the wiping of sticky fingers, the soothing of minor morning meltdowns over which cartoon was playing. Or perhaps I should paint a vivid picture of the 2-hour block I dedicated to the war zone that Leo affectionately calls his playroom. A Sisyphean task of picking up train tracks and stuffed animals, knowing full well it would be decimated again before lunchtime. And then there was the laundry, an ever-growing mountain that mocks my attempts at control. The sorting, the washing, the folding, the putting away, a cycle as relentless and predictable as the rising and setting of the sun. Somewhere in between the domestic duties, there were phone calls to schedule doctor appointments, online searches for allergy-friendly snack ideas, and the mental gymnastics of planning a balanced dinner with the random assortment of ingredients we had on hand. I even managed to squeeze in a quick trip to the grocery store, navigating crowded aisles with a curious toddler in tow, a minor expedition fraught with the perils of dropped crackers and demands for every brightly colored item on the shelves. By the time we got home, the energy reserves were already dipping into the red zone, but the afternoon still stretched ahead, a landscape dotted with nap time battles, snack preparations, and the endless stream of mommy, mommy, mommy. The afternoon was a blur of imaginative play, mostly me pretending to be a very enthusiastic but slightly hoarse dinosaur, attempts at educational activities that were quickly derailed by toddler attention spans, and the constant vigilance required to ensure no small human plunged headfirst off the sofa or decided to redecorate the walls with crayons. And somewhere woven into the fabric of the day was the constant, underlying hum of emotional labor, the anticipating of needs before they were voiced, the mediating of minor squabbles, the offering of comfort and reassurance, the silent monitoring of Leo's moods and well-being. So, Tom, what did I do today? The question, though innocent, felt like a pinprick to a balloon that was already stretched to its limit. It wasn't that I expected a parade or a medal for surviving another day of early motherhood, but the casualness of the inquiry, the implicit suggestion that my day had somehow been less consequential than his, stung. His day, I knew, involved meetings, deadlines, problem solving, tangible achievements that could be neatly summarized in bullet points. My day was a tapestry woven with a million invisible threads of care, connection, and constant, often thankless, effort. I swallowed the immediate urge to snap, to list every single task in painstaking detail, perhaps even presenting him with a color-coded spreadsheet of my daily accomplishments. Instead, I offered a weak smile. Oh, the usual. The usual. as if the intricate ballet of keeping a small human alive and a household functioning was merely a series of mundane, easily dismissed tasks. The usual, as if the emotional weight of being a primary caregiver, the constant low-level anxiety about doing everything right, was just part of the background noise of my day. He nodded, already moving on to the more pressing matter of what was for dinner, his mind likely still buzzing with the complexities of his workday. And in that moment, a wave of loneliness washed over me. A feeling of being unseen, unheard, unappreciated for the sheer volume and intensity of what I poured into our family every single day. It wasn't just about the physical tasks. It was about the mental load, the constant planning, the anticipating, the problem solving that happened silently in the background of my mind. It was about the emotional investment, the unwavering love and patience required to navigate the turbulent waters of toddlerhood. I watched him as he scrolled through his phone, the blue light illuminating his relaxed face. He looked tired from his day, and I didn't doubt that his work was demanding. But a small, resentful voice whispered in my head, "You get to leave. You get to have adult conversations and use your brain in different ways. You get a lunch break where no one is demanding a second helping of dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets." The resentment was a bitter taste in my mouth. I loved my son fiercely. I cherished the moments of pure joy and connection. But some days, the sheer relentlessness of it all felt suffocating. And to have that unseen effort dismissed with a casual question, it felt like a punch to the gut. I started dinner, the familiar rhythm of chopping vegetables, a small comfort. But the question lingered, echoing in the quiet corners of my mind. What did I do today? The answer was a silent, invisible mountain of effort that only I seemed to see. Later that evening, after Leo was finally asleep and the house was quiet again, I sat on the sofa next to Tom. He was engrossed in a documentary, his attention fully captured by the screen. I watched him for a few minutes, the silence between us feeling heavier than usual. Finally, during a commercial break, I spoke, my voice softer than I intended. "Tom?" He turned, a flicker of mild annoyance crossing his face at being interrupted. "Yeah?" "When you asked me what I did today," I hesitated, searching for the right words. It just, it felt like you didn't see all the things I actually did." He frowned, his brow furrowing. "Of course I do, honey. I know you're busy with Leo all day." "It's more than just being busy," I tried to explain. It's it's all the little things, the constant care, the planning, the keeping everything running. It feels like I pour everything I have into it, and sometimes it feels invisible." He was quiet for a moment, and I could see the wheels turning in his head. He wasn't dismissive, not exactly, more uncomprehending, like I was speaking a language he didn't quite understand. "Well, what do you want me to say?" he asked, a hint of defensiveness creeping into his tone. "Do you want me to list all the things I think you do? Because I know it's a lot." "It's not about a list," I said, frustration bubbling up now. "It's about recognition. It's about feeling like what I do has value, even if it doesn't come with a paycheck or a promotion. It's about feeling like we're truly partners and that you see and appreciate the work I put in, just like I see and appreciate yours." The silence stretched again, thick with unspoken understanding, or perhaps a lack thereof. He reached for my hand, squeezing it gently. "I do appreciate you, Anna. You're an amazing mom. I don't know what we'd do without you." His words were kind, and I knew they were sincere, but they didn't quite hit the mark. They acknowledged the role I played, but not the effort I exerted. It's like praising the engine of a car without acknowledging the driver who navigated the journey. The conversation didn't magically solve anything, but it was a start. A small crack in the wall of unspoken expectations and assumptions that had been growing between us. I had voiced my feeling of being unseen. He had, in his own way, acknowledged it. The path to true partnership, I realized, wasn't just about dividing tasks. It was about seeing and valuing the entirety of each other's contributions, visible and invisible. It was about truly understanding the weight each person carried, even when that weight looked different. And maybe, just maybe, by voicing the simple truth of my day, I had taken the first step towards making the invisible a little more visible. Have you ever felt unseen or unappreciated for the work you do as a parent? What helps you feel valued? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, you might also find comfort in our story about the silent struggles within a marriage after a baby by clicking the video on your screen now. You are not alone in feeling this way.